Hello, Nneka. How are you today? How do you feel today?
I'm fine. How are you?
I'm great. I'm really excited to hear you play tonight. How do you feel about playing festivals?
Well, it's playing festivals is always, it's always different in every country, in every city. The weather, the vibe, the people, the energy I bring with me, and then obviously, my movement before I go on stage. So it has also a lot. I think predominantly it has a lot to do with my mindset. So I always have to free my mind and remind myself, hey, you're doing this for the love. You're not doing this, for just to please everybody. So, have no expectations. Just be yourself and use this also as a platform to be able to gain access to a wider range of audience.
Do you prefer an open air to indoors, or what's the difference for you? Is there any difference?
It depends, if obviously if the sound is good, then it doesn't really matter in out obviously. Wait, there are advantages of an indoor. You you have the impression that you are closer to the people, and then the sound is just always different. It doesn't vanish into the atmosphere or into nature, so you always kind of get the vibe back. Though depending on the sound, life can also be it's fun every time. Sometimes it's not fun. Sorry.
It's been 10 years.
Sometimes it's not fun. I would lie to you if I say it's fun every time. No.
Why? Why is it not fun?
Sometimes sometimes you're tired. Sometimes you sometimes the sound is not good, and then you kind of you don't get the feeling. Sometimes you're on
Frustrating,
the
yeah.
road for like 4 months without seeing your family, and then everybody wants you to be there and alert. That's why I say I always have to remind myself why I'm doing what I'm doing, and that you need to be careful that you don't begin to hate what you love.
Yeah, I understand what you're saying because yesterday we made an interview with some artists that were playing the festival and they said that they started hating what they're doing and they just want to stop and they just want to go home, but they can't because they have contracts signed. So it's been 10 years since your journey began with the music. You started off in 2003. How was this road for you?
It's been a tedious, long, exciting, inspiring journey, and
Do you feel blessed?
I do always feel blessed, regardless of what I get. Uh, I believe that I'm able to do what I love, and at the same time I'm able to discover other sides of me, what I'm passionate about. I studied archaeology, I studied anthropology, which is archaeology and anthropology, which is kind of, people ask me if I practice out. I tell them yes, I practice, because basically being able to travel with the help of music, I'm able to discover certain places and broaden my knowledge of my educational, not just people alone, but also like artifacts. Like Romania is the first. I know that Romania is owns the oldest archaeological remains, skeleton remains or bone remains, exactly. And these are things that it's. I mean, I'm not going to go and see the site, but I'm here,
Knowing
which
that you're in that place where
exactly, and it's special to me because I'm educating myself. It's not just making music; it's education.
you're educating yourself, but you're also educating other people. Listening to your music, I felt like you're really strong, you're really passionate, you're also emotional and vulnerable. And I felt like your music is meant to change the world and to change people. How do you feel about that? Do you do it this way? also to change the world and to change people, because the lyrics and the sounds and your voice and is very soulful and is very inspiring for people to think the way you inspire them to think, and to aspire to your lyrics, to feel the same way about the world, about poverty, about political and social issues.
Well, in the end, I mostly start, if I start writing a song, it is reflecting my inside. In the first place, it is always for me. And then I take it to the next level by, bringing in the people. So it's a process, and I'm not very rational about that process. Everything that is created comes naturally. Um, I don't sit down and say, okay, I need to talk about corruption now. I need to sing about politics. But somewhere, somehow, I think the pain, the plight, the experience that I've personally had in my own life, and the things that happen around me, I would say predominantly the negative things, is what has inspired me to write the music that I'm writing. I think if the world would be a place of perfection and harmony, I don't even think music would ever exist. So, I'm kind of a little, you know, rebel in my mind. Uh, and I'm interested in politics and all that, but I notice I'm not very good at being a politician. So I'd rather choose music where I know I can get the message of love across in a similar way a politician would do it, but I would definitely be able to hit more nails on the head and get people closer to themselves and to each other at the end of the day, which I think is the major network, as in is the major trigger of life, is existence. You know what I mean? Uh, and it causes all the problems we have, or all the harmony we have in life. You understand? So, yeah.
Corruption is a topic that you feel really strong about, and we deal with this over here in Romania. Yeah, a lot. Probably not as bad as in Africa or Nigeria, but it's really bad for us too. What's your way of minimalize this? What's your did did you think about a solution to?
Well,
You sing about it in your songs. So I
yeah.
was wondering.
I think there was a time where I would say those in power are the ones who are at fault. But I've gradually had to also educate myself and say, hey, you can't just always point the finger at our leaders, but we ourselves as citizens also have to take responsibility for ourselves. Um, Hence, you need to know what you can add to be able to make your surrounding or society a more comfortable place for your children or you to live in. And then obviously also educating the youth in whatsoever way you can, which is the most important because they are the future. You do not want your children or your children's children to go to the same thing that you have been through. Hence, that mindset has to be eliminated by, by educating them. NGOs, they do it, try and see what you can do, and don't wait on the government to help you.
Your wait on being rewarded and recognized in Nigeria and in Africa was quite long until they started giving you awards and praising you and started enjoying a lot your music, and you became famous there after all. And you also felt like you have to give back by charities and foundations and being an ambassador. Is it necessary to give back after people give something to you?
This is me. I don't it's what I feel. I go after what I feel. I don't think, okay, just because, I don't know. It's a feeling thing. I don't do it because I think I need to. It's not an obligation. It's out of love. and it's out of my personal experience. I do not want people. I have a story that I have not told. Maybe when the time is ready, the time is near, I will probably tell that story. But it's a heavy one, so I know I see the world, and I see what people go through, and I don't want people to go through that. Hence, I would I would do what I can, by preventing that, by what's in whatsoever way, um giving back. Giving back has to be out of love and not obligation.
If you approach me with hatred, I will approach you with love. I have to be strong enough to transform that hate into love. And the more you hate me, the more I love you, that and the way I will make you love me more.
That's me.
Yes. How how do you do that? Mm, how should we do that? Everyone who listens to your music.
It has a lot to do with self-control, and when you're on the edge, if you've been on the edge a couple of times, you realize that it's not good for you, and that people move on, and you're the one that is tripping. So you also need to take care of yourself. Even 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 a Jesus Christ or a prophet had to have they have to take care of themselves. You can give so much, but you need to remind yourself you're only human. And of course, I believe in God. For me, I have traveled so many places. I've seen many. I've tried different religions. I've lost myself to find myself. And in the end, I can only go back to one place. And that is the God that has taken me, that has made me, that has taken me places. The God that has taken me on weird journeys, like journeys where you're like, okay, my God, what's happening now? Am I going to die? You're close to death. You find God in death, close to death. It's sublime. But I'm still on that journey, and I'm still doing music, which means I'm still searching.
So probably when
You're
you
forever searching. I don't think I would ever stop searching, discovering. If I would stop, I probably would not be in this physical world anymore.
it's quite funny because the most one of our most popular songs in Romania is Heartbeat. Yes, and actually it became popular to the Station Status remix, and they're headlining tomorrow night, and it's quite funny. How do you feel about that?
Well, Chase and Status took it to the whole different level.
Yeah, of course, it's more dancey, it's more upbeat, it's not that soulful.
Well, but I made sure that they keep the skeleton of the song, which is you can take the core, but you cannot change it. You can create stuff around it, but it would always be the same. Hence, it's okay. It's okay that they took it, to that place, and I'm glad because it also, it has helped them as well. The message is the same. It's me. I didn't change.
And did you also hear the Rita Ora song?
Yeah, I mean the Rita Ora one, they kind of like cut it, but
R.I.P. Yeah, dubstep.
it's all good. I performed. I did one show with her where I had to perform the song because she was such a big fan. She came. She's like, "Oh my God, Nneka, you come on stage today with me." So I felt so small. I felt small, like, and humbled to do that. And I'm glad because they don't even realize that they're taking Africa to another level. You know what I mean? It's like Africa just creeps in gradually.
It was number one in the
You know
UK.
what I mean? Uh-huh.
That's great. Thank you.
Thank you.